So imagine a group of teenage kids, maybe around 13, 15, maybe they're in high school. Imagine they get together, right? They have a sleepover. There's some drinks, they're playing video games, someone's maybe smoking weed, someone's maybe watching porn. They're doing craziness, they're having a good time, they're eating snacks, they're eating junk, they're all having a great party, a great sleepover. And then someone turns around and says, guys, let's write a screenplay. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Hobbs and Shaw. It has its pros, but it also has its cons. Let's discuss Hobbs and Shaw non-spoiler review. Let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cameron Kelly Smith. Be sure to hit that subscribe and notification button to stay tuned on the content I provide each and every week in the world of wrestling and movie-related discussions. So, Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spin-off, stars The Rock, Jason Statham, you have Vanessa Kirby in there, you have Helen Mirren in there, you also have Idris Elba, the new villain of this movie, who is called Brixton. And by the way, just a side note, I live in Southeast London, England, and for people who live in London or Southeast London, Brixton is actually a place. And I just want to know if Idris Elba called himself Brixton on purpose, because that's a bad name. But anyhow, so this movie. Obviously, the Fast and Furious franchise is known for being something that's quite stupid. It's a popcorn flick. It's high octane. It's kind of like, crazy action, unbelievable action, not exactly realistic. But this was the first Fast and Furious based movie where even I felt personally that this was even a bit too far in terms of being unrealistic. Like, for example, people used to always and still make the jokes of, is Fast and Furious going to space next? And there's drones in this movie. You have Idris Elba as a character who is like this crazy robot guy. And it did feel like a 90s crazy action flick. But even for me, I felt, especially in the first 5 minutes, I was like, man, this feels really unrealistic. And I'm not saying that that's an issue, but even for me, sometimes it felt like we've taken a bit of a left turn here. However, this movie is everything you expect it to be. It is fun. It's crazy. There's some killer set pieces in here. There's crazy action. The best part about this movie actually is the cast. The chemistry between The Rock and Jason Statham. Vanessa Kirby, who is my new crush, is absolutely incredible in this movie. Idris Elba is great in this movie. But I feel like sometimes with this film, it just goes too far. It's a bit too cringeworthy. As I said in the beginning of this video, this genuinely does feel like The Rock, Jason Statham, maybe just The Rock got together and said, man, I want to make a movie, guys. But not even him, but 13-year-old him. You have Rock doing the people's eyebrow in this movie. You have some terrible lines in this movie that are frigging cringeworthy. You saw the Black Superman line in the trailer from Idris Elba's character Brixton. It's even more cringeworthy in my opinion in this movie. There is a line that Vanessa Kirby says in the early stages of this movie, and to give you a hint for when you see it, she puts her hand up like this and she says something. Man, I couldn't believe it. Oh, man, you'll know it when you see it. But I feel like with this movie, Jason Statham and The Rock do have incredible chemistry, and it is fun seeing them on screen. But sometimes during this movie, I felt to myself that it reminded me of the Hulk and how he's utilized in the Avengers and Marvel movies, where it's like they don't have him have his own solo movie, but they have him as a supporting act in other movies, and it makes it more special, and it feels like a novelty act that just works really well. And I feel like that partly is how I felt about Hobbs and Shaw, where it's I maybe preferred when you guys were in the Fast and Furious movies as kind of supporting characters rather than having your own movie. I just don't know if it really worked for me in that respect. But it is fun, it is crazy, it is action-packed. You have some cameos in here, some surprising cameos, which also feels like 13-year-old you is calling up your friend and going, bro, do you want to be in my movie? Bro, in fact, get your cousin. Do you want to be in my movie? Bro, do you want to be in my movie? That's how it feels like. He just said, you know what, let's get the who's who to come in and say what's up. Even guys like Roman Reigns, who plays, I believe, The Rock's cousin in this movie. Obviously, I talk about wrestling on this channel. But even Roman Reigns is doing signature moves and poses that he does in wrestling in this movie. And I thought, damn. But the beauty of this movie, even though it does sound like I'm really crapping on it, the beauty of it is that you do get the impression where it's sometimes you need a movie like this. Sometimes you want a movie where you don't have to think. You don't have to listen and look really hard. You don't have to have something that's going to be emotionally heavy on you. Sometimes you just want to go into the cinema and you want true escapism. You just want to sit there, eat your popcorn. I don't recommend people going on their phone in a movie, but this is a kind of film, where I feel like you could watch this movie and be on your phone. Like, and that is, I know this sounds like I'm really crapping on the movie, but it is a reflection in regards to it being true escapism at its form, which I think is what filmmaking is naturally meant to be. I thought this was great. I do feel, however, that this Fast and Furious movie, it was a shift in direction in regards to what they're doing with the whole addition of Idris Elba's character. And I feel like maybe this was the wrong way to go. I know this might sound crazy, but I'd love to see maybe Fast and Furious go in the route of heist movies again, or even mystery thrillers, crime thrillers. I know that sounds crazy, but why not try it? So overall, I think this movie was fun. It was enjoyable. Will I see it again? No. Should you see it? Yes, I think you should, because I think you'll actually enjoy it. But just be prepared that you're not going to necessarily watch a work of art. This is no Hamlet. This is truly an action adventure to take you away from everything else going on in your life. But anyway, that's been my Hobbs and Shaw review. Out of 5, I think I'll give it a solid 3. It was fun. However, I look forward to seeing Fast 9 next year and to see if they can go in a different direction. Anyway, that's been my Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw review. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you guys. Have a good day.